Top 15 surprising facts about Moldova you've never heard before. Tucked between Romania and Ukraine, Moldova is a small country in Eastern Europe that's home to some of the continent's most unique cultural features and historical stories. With an area of about 13,000 square miles, roughly the size of Maryland, Moldova is landlocked, has no high mountains and lacks flashy cities. But it's this simplicity and isolation that make Moldova a hidden gem in the heart of modern Europe. One interesting fact that not many people know is that the country's name comes from the Moldova River, which is actually located entirely within Romania. That's right, Moldova is one of the rare countries named after a river that doesn't even flow within its borders. Moldova's climate is mild year-round, with temperatures ranging from 25 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit, or -4 to 27 degrees Celsius, making it ideal for seniors and anyone seeking the peace of 4 distinct seasons. The lush vegetation and fertile soil make it perfect for growing grapes, one reason why Moldova is famous for its long-standing and largest wine industry in Eastern Europe, even if few people know about it. Moldova has a population of about 2.6 million, similar to the state of Kansas. Romanian is the official language, but what makes Moldova special is its vibrant linguistic diversity. You'll hear Russian, Gagauz, and even Ukrainian, echoing through markets, train stations, and local bars. Additionally, nearly 40% of Moldovans live and work abroad, mainly in Italy, Germany, and Russia, making Moldova the country with the highest remittance rate in Europe. Remittances account for up to 20% of its GDP. Amazingly, Moldova is also one of the least visited destinations in Europe, with only about 11,000 international tourists per year. But here's the interesting part. Everyone who visits wants to return, as if Moldova holds a quiet charm reserved for those who truly listen. Hidden along the Dniester River within Moldova, but almost completely cut off from the modern world, is Transnistria. Geographically, it's entirely within Moldova, but Transnistria doesn't belong to Moldova, Ukraine, or any other country. It's not recognized by any nation or even the United Nations. Transnistria has its own flag, anthem, government, army, and currency. The PMR ruble, including a unique triangular polymer version you can't exchange at any international bank. When you visit, you must register for a temporary stay as if entering a separate country, and you'll be issued a paper visa valid for only 24 to 72 hours. If you overstay, you could be fined or denied re-entry. With a population of just about 465,000, Transnistria operates like a miniature state where time seems frozen in 1989. The capital, Tiraspol, feels like a living museum of the Soviet era. Lenin statues still stand proud in the central square. Old tanks retire outside the courthouse. People still call each other comrades, celebrate the founding of the USSR every December 30th, with parades, singing and fireworks a scene almost extinct elsewhere in the world. Although it rarely makes international headlines, Moldova quietly holds a special crown. It's home to some of the most beautiful women in Eastern Europe. Many beauty experts and international magazines have called it the anonymous capital of beauty, where every street corner could be a natural runway for elegant, graceful women unlike anywhere else. The charm of Moldovan women doesn't come from a single beauty standard, but from a unique blend of genetics. Over hundreds of years, this small country has been a crossroads, and sometimes an occupied land for many cultures. Roman, Slavic, Ottoman, Russian, Romanian, and more. That's why Moldovan women often have a harmonious mix of features. Fair Slavic skin, sharp Balkan features, classic European brown blonde hair, and a slender but strong rural Eastern European figure. It's no coincidence that Moldovan contestants frequently place high or win at international beauty pageants like Miss Earth, Miss Europe, and regional modeling competitions. Even without a glamorous entertainment industry like Russia or Ukraine, Moldova exports beauty naturally. In fact, the wave of Moldovan women marrying foreigners reflects this as well. In Italy, France, Israel, or Germany, it's not hard to find families with Moldovan wives, not just for their looks, but because they're known for being hard-working, loyal, and skillful in family life. What do you think about Moldovan women? Would you like to know more about their strengths or their views on love? Leave a comment with the number 4 below, and if you want an even more interesting experience with Moldovan women, keep watching today's travel documentary. Moldovan women are not only beautiful, but perfect wife material, right? Would you want to date them long term? In Moldova, you can even marry one for a day. That's right, you heard it correctly. Held annually in the peaceful Rote River Valley, the Mock Wedding Festival is a unique cultural event where you can become a bride or groom for a day and fully experience a true village celebration. In 2023 alone, the festival attracted over 7,000 visitors from more than 20 countries, including the USA, Germany, South Korea and Japan. Over 1,200 couples got married at the event, an impressive number for such an under-the-radar country. Here you'll wear vibrant, hand-embroidered traditional outfits, ride in a flower-decorated horse carriage and be given away by parents, played by locals, in a village wedding ceremony. You and your one-day spouse will feast on golden mamaliga, homemade plum wine, and dance the hora, a circle dance symbolizing love, harmony, and eternal bonds. Of course, there's a photographer with a classic wooden camera and a backdrop of traditional embroidery to capture the moment. Then, after a lively night of folk music, fireworks, wine, and hundreds of well-wishes, you'll divorce peacefully the next morning. No court, no paperwork, just a handshake, a smile, and an unforgettable memory. Many visitors have said it was the craziest but most romantic date of my life, or a short marriage that taught me more about Moldovan culture than any other tour. What do you think of this wedding festival? Would you want to try it? If yes, comment with the number 2. If not, comment with the number 10. Thanks for your feedback. You won't find anywhere else in Europe with a human flow quite like Moldova. Over the past decade, hundreds of thousands of Moldovans have applied for Romanian citizenship, not to reject their roots, but because it's a golden ticket into the European Union. A Romanian passport allows them to work, study and live legally in countries like Germany, France and Italy. Some villages have over 70% of residents with 2 passports. Some people have lived their whole lives in Moldova but have never used a Moldovan passport. This reality has made national identity blurry, especially among young people who see Moldova as the past, Europe as the future. Today, nearly 1 million Moldovans live abroad, almost 40% of the population, making Moldova one of the countries with the highest emigration rates in the world. Many villages are left with only the elderly and children, as a large part of the working generation has left, creating a social gap and a long-standing worry about population drain. But ironically, when the war in Ukraine broke out in February 2022, Moldova, the poorest country in Europe, became an unexpected shelter for over 700,000 refugees. About 100,000 of them chose to stay, mostly women. They live in hostels and peaceful villages, learn to speak Moldovan, and start rebuilding their lives in a place no one expected to be a destination. Along Moldova's bumpy rural roads, you'll easily spot Ladas, Gars, Moskviches and Volgas, old Soviet machines with faded paint, squeaky windows, and engines that sound like offbeat drums, but don't dismiss them as walking scrap metal.